Hello everyone, welcome to the Kali Linux tutorial for beginners. Okay, so the first question is, what is Linux? What is this machine we see right in front of us? Okay, this is Linux. And to be more specific and technical, it is actually a Debian-derived distribution of Linux called Kali Linux, which is an operating system designed and built mainly for hacking and is maintained and funded by offensive security. So if you want to be an ethical hacker or penetration tester, this is perfect for use as it contains several tools for penetration testing and also other tools like forensic tools. So so if you want to read more about Kali Linux, you could go here in their official website of Kali Linux, and just wait. And there's a blog, documentations, community. So if you want to read, just go here. So now, so we are using an OS called Kali Linux, and Kali Linux is using Linux, and to be more specific, called Linux kernel. And I want to tell you that Linux is not technically an operating system. It is a kernel, and the operating system is built on top of it. So what does the kernel do? It interacts with the CPU, RAM, hard drive, and so on. So all the resources that the OS needs, it will tell or ask the kernel, as it's kind of like the middleman of the OS and the CPU or RAM. For example, hey, I need memory. Would you mind sharing some of your resources? So that's it. And next, what is terminal? Okay, this is the terminal. What is shell? CLI? What are their differences? Okay, let me tell you uh, something. A long time ago, a terminal is like a TV and has a keyboard on it. It is indeed tangible. It basically displays in the screen all the output of your command. It can understand what your input is. The only job of it was to only take the input and show you the output. The thing that understands your input is the thing that runs in the background. It would take your input, it processes your input, and it returns the output. And that program is the shell. And to be more specific, it is Bash or Born Again Shell. That is the program that understands the input. By default, Bash is running on our terminal. That is the program. So again, this is terminal that represents the old TV in the old days. And to be more specific again, the thing that we see right in front of us, this is a terminal emulator, as it emulates the physical terminal, but as a virtual. But we can just call it terminal. So okay, the terminal is a program that opens a graphical window to and lets you interact with the shell, whereas a shell is a user interface for access to an operating system. Some professionals uses the terms terminal, console, or CLI, shell interchangeably, but I want you to understand that they do have differences. So I hope you get it. Uh, so before we start, I think you have a question on your mind. What why command line? Why text? When we have a beautiful GUI or graphical user interface in front of us, let me tell you this. This Linux is not meant to be used by this. Yes, GUI is beautiful and user friendly, but command line interface is much more powerful than GUI. At first glance, at first glance, terminal is it's kind of scary, but later, you will realize that CLI is much more easier and flexible to use, and I bet you will fall in love with it. Okay, so later I will teach you all the tricks, wildcards, shortcuts, commands that you will be needing. I will I will take you through steps by steps. As this tutorial aims to teach from beginners to intermediate. Just keep in touch with me, and I'll make sure that you'll find this fun and interesting. And I'll make sure this will be easy to understand, so you won't get upset and throw a punch on your monitor. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next lecture.